I was like, okay, I'm thinking if you're a little bit older, you have standards, you have better understanding on how when dating really was dating, intimacy was. I'm just thinking.
You're giving a lot of credit.
I know I gave too much credit. I gave too much.
Welcome to Sip with Summers, the podcast where we explore sex, intimacy, and pleasure. I'm your host, Jennifer Summers, a pleasure and intimacy queen, and a soon to be certified sex coach and clinical sexologist. Hey, y'all, it's 2025. I can hardly believe it. It's also been a minute since I've shared new content, and I want to thank my loyal listeners for sticking it out with me because I am this close to being done with my studies and graduating as a certified sex coach and a clinical sexologist. Since the last episode, I attended a retreat where I was a guest speaker and I was able to educate other leaders in my industry about sexual health and wellness and different ways that we can help our clients in the bedroom and beyond. I celebrated the holidays with my family, and I just got back from Cincinnati, Ohio, where I attended my national sales training with Pure Romance. Despite being busy 25 hours a day, 8 days a week, I had to share this amazing, hilarious conversation I had with Michele Tompkins. Michele and I met on Facebook. I always love when we randomly meet people on the internet. Michele is an autism mom, a host, and a producer of the Talk to Me Michele podcast. She's a former Bedroom Candies consultant and the CEO of Protege Consulting. Just like me, she is a proud Libra. Love my Libras. She's originally from Memphis, Tennessee, but she was raised in Teaneck, New Jersey. Michele is the author of Mama's Kitchen's Cookbook, a heartfelt collection celebrating her love for cooking and honoring her mother's legacy. She's also a movie lover, a horror buff, and thrives on connecting through meaningful conversations. Michele, I'm so happy to have you here. Welcome to Sip with Summers.
Thank you, Jennifer. I appreciate it. How you doing?
I'm doing so great. How are you today?
Doing it fabulous.
I met Michele through a Facebook group, and it turns out that we are both women over 40, and we're both Libras,
Yes.
and we're both dating.
Yeah.
And I was so excited to connect with Michele and share her with all of our listeners here because I know there's other people out there that are on this dating journey and they just don't really know where to turn. I keep hearing from my friends about all the bad first dates that they've been on and just how they're giving up. So, Michele, I'd love to hear a little bit more about your dating life.
My dating life is here and there. It's the best way I can describe it. Sometimes you do it like an almond joy. Sometimes you feel like a nut. Sometimes you don't. With that scenario in dating, I started my podcast off with my first experience getting back out there, so I can understand why some people are reluctant to re-enter the dating scene because it is so different and there's different expectations nowadays. It's like going to a shoe store and just trying to see what shoes you feel comfortable standing in for 24 hours.
Oh, what a great metaphor. So, where are you meeting men right now when you're dating?
It's mainly online, and that has pluses, it's pros and cons to it because
Hmm.
you can be presented as a certain type of person online, but when reality hits, it is the complete opposite. They'll gaslight, and usually some of them don't. It's like they know the feature of the text feature on the phone. They don't really use the call feature too often nowadays.
So, you prefer the phone call over a text?
I can't get to know you through a text because text has no tone, no personality. It's just words. And I'm like, I don't need a mini series in my text messages. I need you to just pick up the phone. What you're texting me, you could probably wrap up in 30 seconds with a phone call.
Yeah. I don't love talking on the phone if I don't have to, but I agree with you. It is a little harder to get to know people through a text message.
Yes.
What are some of the apps that you're on right now for dating?
Lord, I have tried Match, their Facebook. They need to shut their dating feature down. I know you guys are trying, but please don't do any dating on Facebook because it's just like going back to your high school reunion and you were known as the nerd back in the day and you are the most awkward nerd in the room because you're the only one that's normal. So
So you're finding a lot of people from high school on Facebook, or are they acting like they're still in high school?
I would go with option B. They are definitely acting like they're in high school because I'm not really trying to intrigue anybody I went to school with. If there was no chemistry, then I can guarantee there was none. There's none now. But I'm trying to just meet people, have a conversation with them, see where their head is at. But I don't think I get past that within a 24-hour period. I just had one guy send me 43 photos. He asked me to send him a headshot to save in his phone. I said, okay, you can do the same. And I got 43 photos, and every photo was chest bared and tongue down to your chin. And I'm like, oh, God, you're one of
Ew.
those. Yeah, I was like, you're one of those. No, no. And immediately blocked.
Okay, so besides Match and Facebook, are there any other apps that you have tried that you've had success with?
I don't want to say I've been on too many apps because, like I said, I still have a narrow perception when it comes to dating. And I don't want to be that way, but previous experience has made me this way. And I think I'm more for the in person interaction. That's what I'm a little bit more comfortable with. You get to see what the person is up front, even if they try to fool you. It's more
Mhm.
like what I like to go off as energy. What energy are you projecting? Am I vibing your energy? Are you vibing mine? That's more of a natural way to get introduced to somebody, get to know somebody, and see if you're interested. This online dating is like putting all wheels on your tires on your car to go reverse. That's all online dating looks like to me right now. And
Mhm.
it's just frustrating.
Yeah, as somebody who has done online dating off and on for probably almost 20 years at this point, like literally, Michelle, when I started online dating was back in the day when people were like, that's not safe. You got to be careful. And of course, you should still be careful,
Of
but
course.
so common now to meet people online. It's not weird
Yeah.
anymore like it was in the early 2000s.
I think the pandemic also helped press that, even though we were a little bit more open to meeting people. But I do remember the day when you were like, okay, you really shouldn't meet nobody online. You don't know who you're dealing with, and you get all this additional information or advice. But now we're a little bit more open to it. We just have to take common sense and safety precautions when it comes to interacting online because even if you never meet this person, women are being coaxed into giving people nudes, doing certain intimate actions via video, and they can have record on the other line. Next thing you know, you're uploaded to a site that you had no consent to, but you gave it to them.
What are some ways that you protect your safety when you're dating online and meeting people?
Conversation is key for me. And I always, and I might be wrong, but I always go by the tone of somebody's conversation if they have the ability of having one. We don't have to get knee deep into politics. I don't need to know all your background, but are you capable of just having general small talk? Can you have general
Mhm.
small talk that can lead into a deeper conversation? Are you intriguing? What kind of vibe do you bring to the table? That's what I like to put it as. And like I said, it's hard to shift all that online because like I said, it's Disneyland online. You never know what ticket you got in your hand and what character you're gonna see. So that's the way I'm viewing online dating, but taking precaution in conversation. Sometimes they don't even have to wait for conversation. Like the gentleman that sent me 43 photos, he was automatically, you out. You are out. So just taking common sense lines and also learning not to actually respond to everybody who might be interested in you. Because you know how you can look at a dating profile, they liked you, flirted with you, but you get to their profile, you're like, ugh, there's nothing about this I like. Whether it be the photos they take, because I do look at that too. You want to look at a presentation. And if I see you and you are in a bedroom that looks like an episode from Hoarders, you can best believe I am hitting the skip button.
Yes. My guaranteed skip's definitely hoarders, right? But I don't like it when all their pictures are sunglasses because I
Mm,
can't see their eyes.
yes.
I don't like it when it's a bunch of group pictures because, first of all, I don't know who I'm talking to. And second of all, it's usually the least attractive person. It's not the hot guy, it's always his friend. The other thing are hat fishers. Have you heard of this term, hat fishers, Michelle?
No, I'm the new one on me.
Yeah, so my sister told me about this. Hat fishers are when they look better with a hat on. So like they're bald and they have the hat in every single picture. And look, I'm not knocking bald men. I've dated bald men. Some bald men can be very attractive to me,
Yeah.
but it's when I feel like own it, right? Like
Yeah.
I'm a curvy plus size woman and I make sure I have pictures of my full body. So it's not like a surprise when they meet me that I'm a curvy plus size woman.
Exactly.
And to me, it's the same thing with a bald head. Like, own that shit. Take your hat off in at least one picture. Let us see your head,
That's a new
you
one,
know?
though. But it's interesting because certain accessories that somebody may put on in their picture give you a whole different perspective. But when those accessories are not in the picture, ugh, just
Yeah. Watch, you're going to start noticing the hat fishers. You're going to be scrolling. You'll be like, wait, this man has 6 pictures and they all have hats.
yeah. I'm like, can we have a little diversity? I mean,
Yes.
please.
So, meeting people. Do you have ways that you meet men besides dating apps?
I need to go out more because life has been life and hard last couple of months. And I would usually go to social gatherings that I know that's a comfortable environment. It's fun. They have a local art gallery called the Guy Gallery here, and every first Friday of the month he has a mixer. And that atmosphere is right up my lane because you're surrounded by beautiful African and Cuban art. You got great music, they've got cute hors d'oeuvres, and the people are there to have a good time and socialize and interact. But the only downfall, those type of atmospheres usually have married men. It's usually married men. You might have 1 or 2 single guys there, but they may not be your flavor. I also look at the brighter side of it. Even though they're married, they may know somebody that's single.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, I saw something. It was like a meme or something last year, and I totally felt called out because it was like, you're not going to meet someone sitting on the couch watching TV. And I'm like, oh, how dare you? And
Right.
also, that's what I'm doing.
That's the
So I
same.
have made an effort to get out there, but I also recognize a lot of events that I attend
Mhm.
cater primarily to women.
Yeah.
Professionally, I work mostly with women, but dating, I'm more attracted to male bodied people.
Right.
So that's always a struggle because it's okay. I am getting out there and being social. However, I'm at a women's networking group.
And see, that's the thing, you gotta switch up your activities because I'm actually considering going to a sports bar. I'm not a sports person. And I'm thinking maybe if I just sit and try to learn the game and watch, maybe I'll be watched. You never know.
Hey, try it,
Yeah.
report back, let me know if it's a technique. Maybe I can try it too.
Yeah. I figured there's plenty of men there. There's testosterone all over the place. So you can't go wrong. You get a free beer.
That would be nice. So, I would love to shift gears a little bit. Obviously, this is a podcast about sex, intimacy, and pleasure. And I know that you also used to work in the space of women's sexual health, doing parties with bedroom candies.
Yes.
So, having all of that knowledge and being a sexy single, how do you handle your sexual needs in the
Inventory.
dating world that you're in?
In the dating world, when I was actively doing that, for some reason gave some type of projection on who I was as a person. I met my son's father during that time, and he said he didn't talk to me almost because of my profession at the time. And I'm like, why would you judge me for educating women, empowering women, even couples? Because you don't understand the concept of what this does and what it's supposed to do. So for you to be judgmental right off the bat, you assume I'm a certain type of woman just because I choose this as a profession. And you don't realize how many people I'm helping. And I enjoy talking about sex. If you can't get it, you can at least talk about it. At least help somebody out to learn something new. But a lot of men did for some reason, which I thought was very inappropriate, figured, "Oh, you must be a freak because you talk about these toys and you trying to holler at me because you think you're gonna have a carnival in my bedroom." I don't think so. But that's a misconception a lot of people may have, not just men, but some women too. There are parties where you might find that one customer that is trying their best not to get no eye contact with you while you have a toy in your hand. Kind of atmosphere.
So I've been with my company for 18 years now, and I've had relationships over the 18 years, but I've also done a lot of dating
Mhm.
in that time. And I've gone through stages with it. Sometimes I'm completely transparent about what I do based on how I feel our connection is.
Mm.
Other times I'm a little more vague. So oftentimes I'll just say something like, oh, I work in women's health. And I just leave it at that. I've always been of the belief, though, if I were a person that wanted to date me and I found out that like me sells adult products and sexual health and coaching and all of that, I would be on my P's and Q's. This lady is probably going to rock my world. I need to make sure I don't fuck this first.
Hey, dude, I got the roller coaster ride of roller coasters. If you just open your mind, you're really cutting yourself short when you do that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So besides the sex toys and all of that, do you engage in casual sex? Is that something you want? Are you looking for a relationship, more connection? If I could wave a magic wand, what would that look like for you?
For me, I would prefer a relationship because I'm at a point in my life where I've experienced what I need to experience, but at the same time, we all need some form of companionship. I would like to be in a relationship because you do need that support system, not just the intimacy part, but you also have a support system within your home or however you're dating. It's funny you bring it up because even with me trying to date, depending on what kind of stuff is coming my way, I do have a friend that I have made arrangements with. And this is an adult thing of me to do. And I'm saying that because I've had a relationship with this man. I'm comfortable with him in that capacity. If I don't have a mental stimulation with my partner, I just can't get into it. So I have that with this partner. And I said, you know what? We've tried to go down a relationship road. So we're good in this department. Let's keep it in this department. And I think we'll get along just great because that way I don't waste time or body fluids on anybody who don't need either one of those. And I
Yeah.
came up just the other night with a casual agreement, and that is on
Oh,
paper.
what is a casual agreement?
A casual agreement when you and another person agree that you are gonna satisfy each other intimately, sexually, and there's gonna be whatever terms you want. Do you want romance? You may put that in there, even if it's just for the moment. I need to be romanticized. I need to have this and that, but I want it specific. I wanna make sure, which was not a problem, but your place gotta be clean. Because I can't put my drawers on the floor and you got everything else on the floor. This is not a good environment. So I need your place to be clean. Your sheets need to be clean, and you need to have an ambiance going for me. When I say ambiance, you either got an incense burning, some candles going, maybe a little Chardonnay in the background. You got some
Yes.
pink Moscato chilling on there, and I require a bouquet of yellow flowers. Yes, I do. Yeah, you guys just say you don't want no romance. No, but it does not mean I'm not worthy of gifts because I am over here giving you something that you don't have to worry about, "Oh, she gonna call me. I wonder if she active." No, we have an understanding from the get-go. So, I have my boundaries and my expectations. My partner has his boundaries and his expectations. Now, should it go beyond that, that's fine, but that's not my goal here because I've been at this rodeo before. I've been here before. I'm comfortable in this particular space. When I say casual agreement, it includes not only the romance, but it also includes your health status. I need to know your health status. You need to wear condoms. What are oral? Are we going to do threesomes? You have to be very specific with what you want out of the situation. As an adult, you should put it on paper. Just like any other contract, this is an agreement between two consenting adults, and you are putting your boundaries and they're putting their boundaries and standards and what we both expect. And hey, we both look at this, agree, and we move on and have a good time. And that I think also satisfies the companion because you'll have that for the moment. And you'll also have the intimacy that you crave. And I have a comfortability with this person. So I feel comfortable in that space with him. Once he says yes, I said, okay, when's our next appointment?
I love the idea of the communication aspect of it. And I feel like that often is lacking in a lot of relationships, at least in the work that I do. Um, would you say that is it something you all can negotiate together too? If there's something your partner is into that you're not, is that the space where you would negotiate something like that?
Yeah, definitely. You can negotiate. I'm not really comfortable with this in the bedroom. I'm not comfortable performing this act. So you need to be specific on what you're good with because there's some people that are into like I am no anal. I'm sorry. I'm just not that's not my niche. And I will make sure and I put that in the agreement. We're not doing that.
You're like, here are my hard no's.
Right. Here are my heart. We are not negotiating on this. So that's one of my no's. He understands that. And I'm happy that he respects that. And long as he's in agreement, just like I'm sure he's in agreement with me not doing certain things with him. We both agree to respect each other's boundaries and we carry forward.
Do you feel like your sexual needs have changed as you've gotten more mature?
Oh, most definitely, because usually we were given the Disney presentation. It gave you the idea on how it should be. Now we need to see what our physical wants are, our emotional and energy connection. That's the main thing. Like I said, that does it for me. As you mature, you are more vocal about what you want. Because usually when you're first starting out in that path of life, you don't really say anything. But there's a way for things to be said without being offensive and still getting your point across. So I've found myself very comfortable verbalizing my wants and needs. And if I need you to do this a little bit longer for me to get there, you're going to have to do that.
Yeah, I almost feel as if it's a comfort with aging where you just become more comfortable in your body to ask for the things that you want and that you need. And then I also reflect back on like my early 20s and I was just happy to have sex. Like I didn't even know that there were sexual needs. Like I'm like, okay, just stick your penis in me. Cool. Let's keep it moving.
Yep.
Then you hit 40 plus and you're like, wait a second. It
So
doesn't work the way it used to.
I know I had purchased the VIP ticket. Where are the other benefits with this?
Mm-hmm.
So let me speak on what I need, what I want. And that communication is such a strong factor that I found as I've gotten older when it comes to intimacy and relationships. I am not biting my tongue, but I'm not necessarily going to be so offensive that you don't digest what I'm trying to tell you. But I am going to tell you.
Yeah. So speaking of telling you, is there anything that you feel in your experience that men are not doing in the bedroom that women want?
What the main thing with that they're not doing is before they even get to the bedroom. Because see, men fail to realize the lack of mental stimulation is your first effort of foreplay. When you are able to engage a woman's mentality, make her laugh, make her feel comfortable just to be herself, that's a whole different level you about to tap into. So if you connect with a woman's mentality, get to know her a little bit better, flirt. Some people they'll do it until they get you, and then "Oh, you don't even flirt with me no more. What's going on?" You should still keep that same energy and engage your woman. I think is the big effort in communication. Start that
Yes.
before you even get to the bedroom. Those two factors you got to tap on if you're trying to connect with a woman and take her to a whole new level. Yo, she hears the harps playing, the angels are floating above her. That's the level you want to get on, right? So you could do that before you even get to the bedroom. Just take the time to stimulate her mentally.
Mm. Yeah, definitely in my past experiences, some of the best sex has been when we sit and we talk and it's not even a sexual conversation. It's just a sharing of the minds and it feels very intimate, right? To
Yeah.
sit and connect and talk. And it's definitely a turn on for me.
Oh, it's turned on for me too. And see, the thing about it is, as women, we know if we want to sleep with you or not. We haven't
Mhm.
even had a conversation with you, but if we find you appealing enough, we've already said to ourselves, okay, I would not mind getting with that. But men can have the failure of opening their mouth and saying something that kills the whole vibe I had for you. I just recently had that situation.
What
I had
happened?
I had a gentleman on my show several times, very good looking older gentleman, and was flirting his butt off. And I'm like, okay, I'm vibing you too. And I'm trying to get with you behind the scenes. And see, as a woman, I'm gonna let you know I'm vibing you. But the rest of that is up to you. You gotta let me know if you got the same thing going. I'm not going to chase you as a woman. I will intrigue you. I will let you know I'm interested. But I'm not gonna be sitting up here writing love notes on my notepad all day with my name and your name. That's just not gonna happen. So that was the kind of the play, and I was very disappointed. I was like, okay, I'm thinking if you're a little bit older, you have standards. You have better understanding on how when dating really was dating. Intimacy was I'm just thinking,
You're giving a lot of credit.
I know I gave too much credit. When I saw the rebuttal, I was just like, ew. Now I don't want to even shake your hand. You have turned me all the way off. You could have had a slam bam, whatever you want to call it, an IHOP special. You could have had all that with the hotcakes and the omelet, but you jacked off. Okay,
Yeah,
that's what
you're
you did.
banned from the show. You're
Yeah,
out
you
of
will,
here.
and he don't even know it.
That's too bad.
Hey, it's too bad. He'll learn. Let me tell you something. This is the slick stuff these people do. They interact without interacting with you. Social media is a big middleman. I like to post a lot of stories on my social media. You can
Mhm.
always tell who's been watching what you post. Every now and then I'll see a familiar icon. I'm like, what do you want? I think it's a way like, okay, I want to stay on your mind, but I don't really want to put the work I need to stay on your mind. I'm like, dude, you could be in here all day long looking at my stories. I may post something that may make you stop coming up in here because you're not going to intrigue me to reach out and break down my standards. I was just thinking, okay, as two adults, we could possibly have a little fun. For some reason, I always attract industry men. I just know how a majority of men in the industry move. And I'm just like, I don't feel like going through all that. So if I do want to entertain you, I'll consider an intimate rendezvous, but not a relationship because I know you still got too much in you to get out your system. And then women throw themselves at men in the industry all the time. They always get DMs all the time,
Mm.
volunteer nudes all the time. And I'm like, dude, the average Joe get them. So you can imagine what a man in the industry does.
Oh my gosh. I probably cannot ever date a man in the industry because even just explaining that, Michelle, makes me feel anxious. I'm just too jealous. I would not be able to handle it.
Because I've dated trackmen in the industry. Matter of fact, the gentleman I've made a casual situation with is a musician. And
Okay.
that was the first thing I said to him when we first started dating. I was like, I've been raised in the industry as well. So I've seen
Mhm.
all the behind the scenes, all the dramatics, and I know how majority of y'all move. And he was like, well, you can't put that on me. I'm like, oh, yes, I can. Because if I see representation out here, that a majority of the time, that's what I see, versus the one or two people that are committed and they stay committed, I'm looking at my stats. I'm sorry. The behavior kind of goes with the industry. There's some type of level of cockiness and brazen
Mhm.
attitude that I'm this established person. I'm recognized globally. And because I know you want me, I'm just going to sit here on my throne and wait for you to kiss my feet. And I'm like, well, you know what? My toes are a little crusty too. So you can put some Vaseline on your lips and get to kissing.
Say, I'm the queen now.
I'm like, you forget who has the vagina here. Calm down.
Okay, let's say you meet someone and things are going really well. How do you keep things fulfilling and spicy in your romance after a little bit of time has passed?
I always find that conversational card games are my go-to. They just got conversation starters, and you learn so much about people when you put them verbally in different scenarios. I find that those card games really reflect fun. You get to interact and you get to learn more things because we're not going to see each other in every life scenario all the time. And then it could be funny. I like to have fun and be silly at times. I like to laugh is like God's best medicine. And I think of a relationship really deprives itself from having a sense of humor. You can just go ahead and start getting the U-Haul ready. Because it's just, you got to learn to laugh even when you're mad at each other. I'm
Yes.
sarcastic and I don't like to interact right after an argument. I don't want the raw portion to come out. I need to cool, sit back, think about what I need to discuss, and come to you respectfully. But if there's some
Mhm.
point of the conversation that we're trying to evolve in, if they say something stupid, I'm gonna make a joke about it so we can have a laugh, have a moment. It's not that serious, but we need to just get this taken care of.
I love everything that you're sharing. And I'm curious. So let's say a listener is maybe out of a relationship and they're looking to get back out there and start dating.
Mhm.
What's the biggest piece of advice that you can share with somebody in that situation?
Never underestimate your worth. Not saying being snobbish, not saying being cocky or you're too good for this and too good for that, but do not devalue yourself. Because I think sometimes, and I found myself doing this when I started dating, I started entertaining things that I really shouldn't have been entertaining, whether it be conversation, hanging out with them. I knew that wasn't my vibe. I devalued myself just to get out there. And I was like, oh, maybe I'm being too this, too that. No, you're not. If you vibe just online, for example, the guy that I started my podcast out with, the horror date, I knew I should have stopped wasting my time, but I entertained it anyway, just to feel like I'm part of the dating world and I'm going out, I'm having fun. And I can do that by myself without the headache. I've done solo date. First of all, before you start dating, date yourself, because if nobody comes to you the way that you would like, you need to date yourself. And I can do that where there's a new restaurant. I may not have nobody to go with, but I bet you I'll be over there to check out that menu. It might be a movie that everybody else is not into. I'm going to go see it by myself. I will enjoy my popcorn and whatever else by myself. So get to know yourself better, date yourself first. So when you do enter the relationship or the dating scene, you know what you like, you know what you want, you know the kind of environment you want to be in. And have an open mind, but not so open where you're devaluing yourself and your standards. If something's not for you, do not feel obligated. Do not, because you're wasting your time and we can't get that back. So if I'm vibing like this really is not working for me, I don't even want to talk to them. I really just rather let them know, hey, this is not working out, but I appreciate your time and I hope you find somebody out there for you, but it ain't going to be me.
Yeah. I'm 42 now. And when I was in my 30s and I was dating, I would go on a date with a guy and I would know this isn't really the guy for me, but he would ask me on a second date and I'd be like, okay, because
Yeah.
it's better than doing nothing. But now
Ye-
I would much rather hang out with my cats at my house. And I
Amen.
really am way more selective about who I spend my time and give my energy to. I
Mhm.
love that you shared this, Michelle, because I agree. If you're listening to this and you are wanting to get back out there, put yourself first because you're a prize to be had. Date yourself, love yourself, and
Mhm.
don't put up with bullshit.
You have to. And our society has taught us you're being selfish thinking about yourself. You should be worried about this. No, I should be worried about me. Not
Mhm.
saying that I don't have compassion for other people, because I do have that time to give to them, but I'm always going to have me on my agenda. I'm always going to make sure that Michelle, how was your day? Oh, girl, tell you what I did. And I did this, I did that. You could even mentally brag to yourself to hype yourself up, because there'll be 24 hours and went by and I'll sit back at the end of the day. Did I get anything done? Then I have to go over my checklist. And then after the end of that checklist, I'm patting myself. I say, you know what, girl, you did so much. You didn't even realize till you start and thought about it. Same thing when it comes to dating. You need to date yourself, cultivate yourself, because the more we expose ourselves, it determines the future interactions we have and the people that we have interactions with. So if I stick to watching reality TV all day, guess what kind of conversations and people I'm going to interact with when I leave the house?
I feel like so called out and guilty, but that's old me. Since I've been in school now and I'm reading so much more and I feel smarter, I feel more educated.
Hmm.
I've noticed the conversations I have with people are completely different than when I had less things to do and I was binging Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
Yeah,
So,
the love and hate, I was in all that. And I was like, why am I watching this ratchet crap? It just got to a point one day, I'm like, I'm questioning the people's behavior on the show, but I should be questioning myself on why I'm watching it when it comes down to it. Because, like I said, I've never seen so many drinks being thrown in faces. I'm like, for me, that's a fight.
I've had those moments before where I watch something like that and then I go out in public and I'm like, I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm not doing it. I am trying to have a peaceful life respectfully out here. We basically display what we intake.
Mm.
It shows what we intake on a regular basis. If I watch somebody on social media and I see their personality start to shift, I'm like, okay, what just happened? You wasn't this ratchet before. Kind of like a touch of ratchet, but not knee deep ratchet. And you've gone
Yes.
12 feet under. What happened?
What is really going on?
Yeah. Makes you question.
Now, before we wrap it up today, I want to ask you, you mentioned that you have a free downloadable social media branding checklist ebook.
Yes. Basically, when I started out branding on social media, there is so many different resources. And with me marketing my own podcast, even when I was doing Bedroom Candy, I had to find effective ways of networking on social media. So I created an ebook that basically gives you just a simple breakdown, and it's not a long read. It gives you the pointers, a couple of resources that you can go to use free resources to help you expand your branding. If there's a free workshop or anything that you guys see in the feed, I'm always going to advise somebody to take it. But I am gonna start doing consulting online because I have been hit up behind the scenes about social media as well as podcasting, but the guide is definitely a way for you to better understand and to get free resources you can start utilizing the moment you download it.
I love that. And thank you for such a generous gift. I will definitely have all of that information in the show notes. Michelle, where can everybody find you online?
Talk to me, Michelle, and that's with one L, and that's on Instagram, Facebook, X, YouTube. My podcast is on all podcast platforms. I am currently with the MBG Podcast Network. I try to drop 2 episodes a week. I just did an episode on being single. I love podcasting. It gives me a chance to express myself. Like, I know your podcast does that for you. You get to have interactive conversations.
Yeah.
So I love that devotion. And when I need to vent, it's not, "Oh, I'm so miserable." Nobody wants to hear all that. Let me just make a little sarcastic quack and we can learn a lesson and move on.
That is really what drew me to you because that's how I live my life is like when bad things happen, I'm thinking, how can I put a funny, sarcastic, satirical spin on this situation?
Yeah.
Because if I can laugh and make other people laugh about it, it makes me feel better. And then I'm not upset about it anymore.
No, you have to utilize laughter every day. Even when you get that bill you was not expecting. And I was like, look, just turn my nipples until they just fall off at this point. So I had to tell myself something of that nature to keep me in good spirits. But that's why I try to use that platform to utilize humor, life lessons, and just everything that life throws at it. Specifically, women is what I'm trying to get to. And you guys will find me talking to some men time to time, but I grill them. I grill. I want to know what y'all got on your mind. But yeah, that's
Yes.
exactly what the vibe is.
Yes, I love that. Everyone, make sure you check out Michelle. I'm going to have all her contact information in the show notes, along with the free downloadable content brand creation. Michelle,
Yes.
thank you for sharing that with us.
No problem. My pleasure.
Is there anything else you want to share before we finish up today that we didn't talk about?
I have to iterate to love yourself, to please love yourself. And this time that we're in, particularly with women,
Mm,
we need to stop putting ourselves on the back burner when it comes to a lot of things, particularly our own happiness. Stop thinking that we have to fit a mold. We have to do something to be accepted. We need to embrace ourselves. That is what I would like to come across as a general message for women. Love yourself. Don't let anybody paint you in a corner.
yes. I want to put that on a t shirt.
Yes.
Michelle, thank you so much for sharing. Thank you for your energy. Thank you for the laughter today. I definitely am leaving here with a big smile on my face and excited to go on my date tonight and hoping for the best for you and for me both in our dating journeys.
Whether that dating journey works out for me or not, I wish you the best. And I got my casual agreement pending. So I'm good.
I have 3 vibrators charging, so, if it doesn't work out, then I'll have a backup plan.
That's the plus of being a consultant. You got the inventory to back up just in case.
That's right. Yes. Yes. Thanks again, Michelle.
Thank you again for having me. I really appreciate it.
If you're dating over 40, I hope that you had a laugh and got some fresh ideas for ways to meet new people. Visit the show notes to subscribe and follow Michelle on Instagram and YouTube. Michelle has also generously offered us a free downloadable social media branding checklist ebook, which provides tips for creating a professional and engaging social media presence. Make sure to reach out to her and mention this episode for your free guide today. I would love to invite you to check out my brand new online boutique. You can see the latest and greatest offerings with Pure Romance, and I've even included a special coupon for my loyal listeners in the show notes. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider leaving a review, a 5-star rating, and following the show. If you have any friends that are single or could use a laugh, share this episode with them. Friends do not let friends miss out on sipping with Summers.